my people, this very video that you're about to watch, I want you to just pay good close attention. There's something terrible that you're going to witness in this very video. Yesterday, the ancestor called Tinubu traveled on the way to UK for the first time in 37 good years. Why did he travel? He traveled down to the UK for the sake of Nnamdi Kanu. What you are about to witness today is going to go down in the history of mankind. You will see how disgraceful it is for these ancestors. Almost all the Nigeria governors accompanying him down to the UK to do what actually? Why the Nigeria is on fire. So please, my people, I would not watch this video and tell the story alone. I want you to watch it and witness something so that you can tell the story as well. Nigeria, which way forward? Nigeria, which way forward? Let's watch this horrific video. You will be shocked after watching this video.
We can say now banditry is an industry in Zamfara State. Last month, we arrested a member of the State House of Assembly in banditry here in Zamfara State. We arrested a district head we also as well arrested a former local government chairman. So you can see that involvement of this class of people in banditry is more making the situation to become more and more complex. So in essence, I can say that all caliber of people now are involved.
I already mentioned yesterday that this country is under siege by Boko Haram and their affiliates and branches, and that they were having their site on Maiduguri. I mentioned it to you yesterday, way in advance of what happened. Sadly, they did nothing to prevent it, even though this revelation came maybe around 2 p.m. yesterday. So they had over 5 hours to have reacted by ensuring that they tighten the security, but they don't care. These are incompetent managers running your country to the ground. I think yesterday I said it, and if you look at your tape, that Boko Haram is setting his sights on Maiduguri. I revealed it yesterday, and by evening, they had already bombed the city into smithereens. It's also important that journalists never fail to take into account casualties. It's not 23 people. 123 people were killed, and they said over 700 people were injured. It was a blanketing of Maiduguri by Boko Haram. So take that into account. It was pretty bad. It was worse than you can ever imagine. And that's where we talk about leadership. Just as this is happening, your president is gallivanting around in the UK, supposedly on a state visit to their colonial masters, no mind. So it's very sad, but I already mentioned yesterday that this country is under siege by Boko Haram and their affiliates and branches, and that they were having their site on Maiduguri. I mentioned it to you yesterday, way in advance of what happened. Sadly, they did nothing to prevent it, even though this revelation came maybe around 2 p.m. yesterday. So they had over 5 hours to have reacted by ensuring that they tighten the security, but they don't care. These are incompetent managers running your country to the ground.
Staircase from the plane is President Tinubu and First Lady Remi Tinubu, the first democratically elected president to have a state visit in the UK after 37 years. Being welcomed by Mr. Mark Bevan, Deputy Lieutenant of Essex, and Ambassador Mohammed Maidegu, Acting Nigerian High Commissioner, as well as some selected lucky dignitaries presenting the First Lady with a bouquet of flowers as they exchange pleasantries and a warm welcome to the President and First Lady. There is understandably quite an excited crowd for this historical moment. but they seem to be in good spirits, having had what must have been a smooth ride as they make their way down the queue of selected individuals to welcome the dignitaries from Nigeria. It is quite a proud moment because after 37 years, almost 4 decades, President Tinubu has quite a daunting diplomatic task ahead of him because he is the poster child for what could be a renewed and rewritten image of Nigeria on the global platform. In the world landscape, the royal family is the most historical, well-respected and revered of dignitaries across the world. So in an ever-changing landscape, particularly in a post-Brexit world where there are fractures between Britain and Europe, and also with tensions across the Atlantic, President Tinubu's job over the next couple of days will be instrumental in fostering and deepening relations between Nigeria and the UK. Now entering his car, we're going to try to get the shots. As we see President Tinubu coming right round here, here he is, Mr. President, entering his vehicle, surrounded by a swarm of press trying to get the photo ops. And Madam First Lady escorted into the car on the other side, surrounded by security and press. An entire trail of vehicles follows behind that will trail him all the way to the hotel he will be staying at tonight. There he is, driving off, Mr. President and Madam First Lady. I'm sure you can see, I hope you can all see this clearly.
Yes, we can.
Probably it's dawning on him that what will be a interesting, exciting, and history-making next couple of days for the leader of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unlike most political excursions, this will be a mixture of both diplomatic and political between his meetings with King Charles III, Queen Camilla, as well as the Prince and Princess of Wales, and then Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. So while it is full of ceremony and pageantry, it's also laden with responsibility and the burden of a changing landscape where Nigeria stands on the fracture lines of an ever-changing world between generations, but with an abundance of hope that a future can be shaped for generations to come, particularly those that represent the diaspora, which the 270,000 people in Britain looking to their leader, President Tinubu, to foster the kind of future that fills them with the hope that they so desperately need. Back to you, Rotus.
Juditha, thank you so much for that as we watch President Tinubu heading out of the airport there. And we do, thanks for mentioning the President Tinubu flying the flag for the nation in terms of the image of Nigeria, the relationship between both countries. Juditha, Keir Starmer is facing his pressures. President Tinubu, of course, there was, another terrorist attack, unfortunately, a bombing in Maiduguri before he left. What is the layout? What are folks saying? Are there any, on that side over in the UK about this trip, about Starmer? Starmer is facing his pressures. Any word on that in terms of criticisms, challenges as this gets underway?
Yes, there are inevitably a lot of criticisms, both from within and without, with, for instance, from leaders representing America saying that should a diplomatic trip of the expense and pageantry of a state visit be happening now at such a tense time across the world, particularly in Nigeria, for the reasons you just mentioned. But while, yes, at a time like this, you would expect that a leader of the country would be staying on home navigate the country through a difficult time. With the planning that has gone into an event like this, Mr. President probably has thought that strategically it comes at a beneficial time because Sir Keir Starmer is in a similar position when it comes to the tensions he's facing with the war in Ukraine, with the fracture between a post-Brexit Britain, when it comes to tensions with President Donald Trump, when it comes to the war in Iran, and the ongoing conflict between Gaza between the Palestinians and Netanyahu's administration in Israel. These are two leaders that are facing the kinds of tensions that no leader wants to, where a world is on the brink of war on so many fronts. So what you have as an opportunity for President Tinubu to have the kinds of difficult conversations that need to be had, because the way forward when finding solutions to the problems Nigeria have cannot be found in isolation. You need partners, you need strong partners, you need partners with the kind of infrastructure that Nigeria lacks and so desperately needs, and that is represented by a country like the UK. The unreliability of the Trump administration has left everyone from the Europeans, to the Canadians, to the Latin Americans, to the Africans, to the Nigerians, looking for new relationships to plug the hole that has created such a geopolitical deficit when it comes to the needs they have when it comes to security. So the point you made is probably the most pertinent part of what is going to be President Tinubu's trip, which is having that conversation with Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, and saying that what can they do for each other at a point of such desperate need for both countries.
Juditha Da Silva, boots on the ground in London for this historic touchdown. President Tinubu and First Lady Olori Tinubu there, visiting, of course, this state visit to the United Kingdom. Juditha, thank you so much. We'll be following up with you for the rest of the, the few days that the president is there.
The president, has he arrived at the hotel yet?
Yes, the president has just arrived. He arrived about 10 minutes ago. He's already in his hotel room. We all lined up to receive him. He's resting now with the First Lady. They are upstairs, and we are downstairs here trying to find where we can break our fast because, as you know, this is Ramadan time, and it's just about the time to break fast now. So the president has arrived, yes, and indeed the scene here is that of a persuasive expectation. Everybody here is happy and is excited that the president of Nigeria has come here. And this is a visit, as you all know, for the first one in 37 years and the first one since the return to democracy in 1999. So much on the plate, security, economics, a lot of issues to be discussed tomorrow with King Charles, and then on Thursday with the Prime Minister Starmer here in London. We know that Nigerians are already aware of this. We also know that there is expectation that, of course, the president will get so much out of this visit for the benefit of Nigerians.
Interesting.
Nnamdi Kanu, sorry, I don't go stop to the love you. Nnamdi Kanu, I don't go stop to the like you. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a hero. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a man. Nnamdi Kanu, true, you are Mazi. You are Mazi. Nnamdi Kanu, true, that God send you. God send you true. You are Mazi. As far as you don't betray your people, you don't betray your loved one, you don't betray people who trust you, you a man.
Now that you have seen the full clip, what did you see? My people, Nigeria, the fall of Nigeria is near than ever imagined. My people, Nigeria have collapsed completely. What a shameful and disgraceful that a whole politician will left their home that was on fire and traveling to UK to do what actually for the sake of this one man called Nnamdi Kanu. All of them have gathered themselves like a bunch of fools just to travel to the UK for the first time in 37 good years. My people, Nigeria is gone. All these shenanigans, all these their travelings, all this their show off can never make Nigeria stand. Nigeria have expired. Meeting the UK government, their founding fathers, is just a waste of time.
As they make their way down.
The Islamic terrorists have taken over Nigeria completely. Nothing anyone can tell me about it. Nigeria is gone. What is it? Look at them. Look at the ancestors. Look at them. What are they left their home that was on fire, traveling to UK just for the sake of Nnamdi Kanu, and they are telling me that Nigeria will regain her standing? Nigeria is gone. Look for exits and start rescuing yourself now. What is happening in Nigeria is not coincidence. It's a planned game. It's a calculated game. Nigeria is gone and gone for good. So my people, share this video widely. Share this video widely. There are a lot of people that need this video. Nigeria is a laughing stock before the world. What a disgraceful country. I come in peace. If you love what I do here in this Global Love Channel TV, please don't hesitate to touch a hand for subscribe button, like and turn on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. And in doing that, we encourage you not to do more, because togetherness, we shall save life together. Africa life matters. Whenever you see something, always say something, because an injustice for one remains an injustice for all. Disintegration remains the final solution. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.